We're talking today to Tony Cruz, who's my special guest this afternoon. He runs Gallywoofer's Dog Training in Chelmsford. It's at Gullywood. It's an outdoor dog training club, and he's got a new book out called 101 Doggy Dilemmas, which is out just in time for Christmas, of course. And it's got your Doggy Dilemmas in here. Tony...
About it. So I made a conscious note of all the questions I get asked on a regular basis. And then, of course, I'll be at a party, and of course the question comes up, what do you do for a living? And yeah, I'm a dog trainer. And then I'll have a queue of 5 people asking me a question. So, okay, these are very common questions. I had 50 common questions. I thought, great, that's enough for a book. Approached a publisher, and they said, you need a bit more than that. I know, let's do 101 after 101 Dalmatians. Let's do that. And I thought, that means I'll get another 61. 61? Well, it didn't take me too long, but I eventually got 101. And as you say, it was a case of the sort of almost comical situation in some of them. Then you get to find out why the dog does it. Because if you don't know why the dog does it, it's very hard to solve. But often when the owners find out why the dog does it, the pressure's off. You know, the dog's not doing it to spite me. He's not doing it to dominate the household or dominate the family. He's doing it because he's bored, or because he's hungry, or because, you know, he's understimulated. So I think it's important to know the reason why. And it's also got the solutions. So very easy solutions. They're solutions that don't involve force. You should never force a dog to do anything. There's no equipment there that causes a dog any distress. They're all positive. They use what I mentioned earlier. They use the dog's motivation.
Because there are a lot of them in here, they're really wonderfully indexed as well, so you can actually see them at a glance. If there's one particular one that you think is prevalent to you and your dog, then you can find it quite easily. Out of all of these, just give us a couple, if you would, that came first and foremost when you were writing this book. What are the most frequently asked questions?
Oh, the big three. Big three, I call them. The first one, the most calls I get is my dog is pulling on the lead. And it's the case when you get a puppy, you put something around the puppy's neck, and of course, he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know that it's supposed to be nice and slack and loose, and you're supposed to walk next to your owner. So pulling on the lead is a big one. And it can be a little puppy, or it can be a Great Dane who's going to drag the owner into the road. So it can be very, very dangerous. The reason why a dog pulls on the lead is very simple and not obvious, but they walk quicker than we do. Yep, they've got 4 legs. If you track the dog's average walking speed, I think it's a few miles an hour quicker than what we walk. So there's a very good reason. Also, dogs want to get from A to B a lot quicker than we do. For example, you leave your front door, the park's up the road, and of course your dog wants to get there before you do. So there's another good reason why the dog walks quicker.
It's true, because you often see a dog, if you go to the park with the dog, and it runs to where it needs to go and runs back to you, and then runs back again, because it kind of makes up the time, doesn't
that's it? I think they probably do about 60 miles in a walk, and we might do 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, they live a lot quicker than us, they walk a lot quicker than us. So the reason why, how we can keep the dogs walking next to us on a slack lead is to start off very slowly, and it's not something that can be done overnight. A simple harness, a body harness, can help a dog if he's pulling already, or just attach the lead to the collar, and you motivate the dog when that lead is slack. And there's a little gentle loop in the lead, and guess what? The dog gets a little bit of food, perhaps his own dinner. So what you can do, dry food is very big. A lot of people feed their dogs dry food. You take the dry food out with you. Very simple. Whenever the dog is walking nicely, he gets a little bit of it. And so he learns, hey, if I walk nicely like this, I get my food and I get to the park.
Right, simple as that. And one more.
One more is recall. Why does my dog run off at the park? I think we heard earlier. Did Sadie mention something like that?
Yes, I think she
Why
did.
does my dog run off? Again, he's motivated by other dogs. He's motivated by scent. Build a good recall. And I teach whistle recall at Gallywoofer's. And it's about being motivated and letting the dog have the good stuff when he comes back to you. Don't whack the lead on when he comes back to you, because straight away, why would he come back to you? Because he knows he's going to go home. He comes back to you, gets a treat. You touch his collar, you put the lead on, maybe you take the lead off and then let him go again. So when he does come back to you, he knows he's not going to go straight home. He gets a treat and he gets to go and have his normal fun.
You make them sound so easy, Tony. It's like, I should have thought of it.
That's what a lot of people said about the book, and when you actually break down into it, it's really not complicated. People do overcomplicate dog training sometimes and start looking at dominant dogs and give them silly reasons. It's very, very simple.
Well, 101 Doggy Dilemmas is out now. It's by Tony Cruse, and Tony Cruse is spelled Cruse, by the way, not as in Tom.